Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakahagwadash, Barakatum. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to you, sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure unto the end. This is the brother Ra'aya with another video, and I'm going to start it off in Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 30. Also, thou son of man, the children of thy people being you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who are the true children of Israel, still are talking against thee by the walls and in the doors of the houses, and speak one to another, every one to his brother, saying, Come, I pray you, and hear what is the word that cometh forth from Yahweh. And hey, for the majority of our people, 2/3 in the United States of America, the truth, the prophets, and the preaching is all just for entertainment. A lot of y'all don't take this seriously, and it's just a passing fad to you when this is a life or death situation that we're dealing with right here. We're dealing with the salvation of the nation of Israel, and what our enemies, chiefly Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, about to come down in great wrath and put a lot of you Israelites to death. And they come unto thee as the people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people, and they hear thy words, but they will not do them. Hey, stop eating abominable foods. Stop committing adultery. Stop, just being a degenerate in this society. For with their mouth they shew much love, but their heart or their mind goeth after their covetousness, their own fleshly feelings. And lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song of one that hath a pleasant voice and can play well on an instrument. For they hear thy words, but they do them not. You drive by Shalom Israelites, who you see the camps in your cities, you watch the videos online, you may give a comment here or there, but you're not changing your life after the ways of Yahweh Bahasham Yahawashi. Verse 33, and when this cometh to pass, all the judgments, the horror, the terror, the prophecy that Yahweh Bahasham Yahawashi is spoken of in these scriptures, lo, it will come. Then shall they know that a prophet had been among them. When you're knee deep in these prophecies and these judgments of Jacob's trouble, you're going to know that those men on the street corners were speaking the truth. But it's going to be too late for a lot of you. You're just going to have to take the judgment that's coming your way. And one of the main things that, a lot of our people, and it's sad to say a lot of our people that know they're Israelites, scoff at and don't want to take heed to, is what the MARKOFTHEBEAST is in Revelation chapter 13, verses 16 to 18, which is the RFID/NFC C-HIP implant. And hey, with each passing day, we're getting closer and closer to the mandatory implementation of it, which in this video, I'm just going to go into some more heavy hitting information just to show how close we are to the rollout of this system. And the first bit of information I'll be going to is on Lena Petrova's YouTube channel. And the title of the video is Breaking CBDC or Central Bank Digital Currency Launch Date Revealed. Prepare. And as we'll see in this video, the SWIFT, which is the main financial system for the West and that a lot of these other nations are a part of, has given a timetable of the next year or two when they're going to roll out a platform to make these digital currencies that a lot of these different countries as banks are putting online more easily accessible. And these digital currencies or CBDCs, this digital cashless society, is the Trojan horse to set up the infrastructure for the C-HIP, the MOTB. Because what? Right now with these cryptocurrencies, it's not a physical thing you hold. It's something on the internet. It's something you use to pay with your phone or anything like that. And then also, what have we seen, especially with that situation from 2019 to 2021, a push for contactless payments, because what? Physical currency could have the stuff on it. So you've seen an uptick in Venmo, Cash App, Apple Pay, you name it. And then just in general, people have been, conditioned to use less and less physical cash, and even these debit and credit cards, and more rely on their phones. So the infrastructure is perfectly being set into place. And now Esau Edom has put a date on these CBDCs, which is just going to further roll out the system. And everything is happening at a very critical time right now, because what have we been hearing a lot of talks of? Cyber attacks and stuff like that, which could be the perfect black swan to roll out, the CHIP with the CBDCs perfectly on it. A major cyber attack or a cyber pandemic, as K. Schwab of the WEF said, hits the global system and knocks down banking, knocks down, the hospital system, knocks down the electrical grid, knocks down everything. So what? We need to do something to bring it back online. Oh, look, we had all the infrastructure. We just happened to, have the foresight, in quotes, to see that this thing was possible. So what? We have these digital currencies set into place. But in order to identify that you truly are you, we need you to put the CHIP in you. And then what else? You've got the migrant situation taking place, which now since that situation that happened in Moscow, now you've got the authorities saying it's possible for that to happen in the U.S. And they're also sounding the alarm that a lot of Teists, terror, ISTs are coming across the border, and it's only a matter of time. In a grid down situation or anything like that, they could also use that CHIP to identify that you truly are, a citizen of the U.S. or wherever, and not a part of the group or an entity coming against the government. We are coming into some very critical, and dire times. But again, for the majority of our people out there, they take this thing as a joke. As it said back in Ezekiel 33, hey, this is a very lovely song unto them, and they shew much love with their mouths, but they do not, follow after the ways of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. They're given unto their own covetousness. But again, and when these things come to pass, and lo, they will come, then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them. But I'm going to start this video at the 2-minute and 20-second mark and play a couple of minutes of it. And this is a fair use copyright disclaimer. I do not own any of the footage in this clip, nor do I stand to gain from it monetarily. It is simply for educational purposes.
And here we are a week later, finding out that SWIFT is launching CBDC platform within the next 2 years. And it might be safe to assume that if this announcement has already been made, the platform is ready to go. It's been tested and they're ready to roll it out. In fact, nobody is hiding this anymore. For example, a recent report reads, Global Bank Messaging Network SWIFT is planning a new platform in the next 1 to 2 years to connect the wave of central bank digital currencies now in development to the existing finance system. This, of course, means that we will see a wave of CBDCs launched by major economies within the next year or two. The move, which would be one of the most significant yet for the CBDC ecosystem, given SWIFT's key role in global banking, is likely to be fine-tuned to when the first major ones are launched. I will remind you that SWIFT has a truly massive network. It is being used in 200 countries, and it is the platform for nearly 1,000 banks worldwide.
What does it say in Revelation chapter 13, verse 16? And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, and that he is speaking of the elites who are in control of the planet right now, who are Edomites, such as these bankers like the Rothschilds, these other higher up families, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Gettys, you name it, to receive a charagma, that CHIP, in their right hand or in their foreheads. And just the other week, Neuralink had its first successful, brain implant take place in a human.
The report then goes on to explain that around 90% of the world's central banks are now exploring digital versions of the currencies.
90%.
And I would like to point something out. When they write exploring, we need to understand that what they really mean is aggressively developing while remaining completely silent on the progress and the timeline. During the past 3 years, we have been given bits and pieces, in many cases conflicting and misleading bits and pieces of what's really going on behind closed doors. And of course, I would say that it has been that way by design. SWIFT said that its latest trial took 6 months and it involved 38 central banks in addition to a group of commercial banks and settlement platforms. Reportedly, HSBC, Citibank, and Deutsche Bank were involved. According to SWIFT, the pilot program...
And what I find interesting is she just said 6 months, and then what? A year is 12 months. So what? 6 months plus 6 months equals 12 months, or a full year. 6, 6, 6. Hey, as I said, back in Revelation 13, verse 18, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Hey, this devil likes to use that number 6, in all his agendas. That's the number he's known by. And also, they're saying 1 to 2 years. What's 2 years? 12 plus 12 is 24. 6 times 4 is 24. It's all just in increments of 6.
Program was one of the largest global collaborations on CBDCs and tokenized assets to date. Central banks from Germany, France, Australia, Singapore, Czech Republic, and Thailand, among others, were involved. This trial run focused on making sure that different countries' CBDCs can all be used together, even if built on different protocols on different platforms. It also showed that they could be used in highly complex trade or foreign exchange payments. SWIFT said, and I quote here, "It's moving out of experimental stage towards something that is becoming a reality." So what does this mean? It means that we need to use the next, I would say, 12 months to prepare for CBDC launch. The fact that Fed Chair Jerome Powell gave such a vague answer without providing any valuable information whatsoever should tell us something. It should tell us that there's likely a very important event that should, in theory, take place later this year. You know what it is. And because the digital dollar progress is kept behind closed doors, it will likely be a surprise to us all and will provide a quote-unquote a solution to a problem.
A lot of very interesting things are happening this year. We've got the elections later on, which, hey, it's a toss-up whether they're going to happen or not. And then just today, what took place, that bridge up in Baltimore, which was named after the man who made the Star-Spangled Banner, was hit by a ship and collapsed. I'll put collapsed in quotes. Symbolism of what? America about to collapse? And then, of course, Apostle Tahar is deemed 2024 the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble.
Part of the problem reaction solution playbook. SWIFT mentioned a recent forecast from Boston Consulting Group that by 2030, around $16 trillion worth of assets could be tokenized, a process where assets like stocks and bonds are transformed into digital chips that can then be issued and traded in real time. Remember that for CBDCs to be rolled out, they will first tokenize all assets, absolutely all assets, to prepare for the digital currency launch.
And the BIS is the Bank of International Settlements, which is the central bank of central banks. So the big boys.
We tend to establish the equivalence with cash. And there is a huge difference there. For example, in cash, we don't know, for example, who's using a $100 bill today. We don't know who is using a 1,000 peso bill today. A key difference with the CBDC is that central bank will have absolute control on the rules and regulations that will determine the use of that expression of central bank liability. And also, we will have the technology to enforce that. Those two issues are extremely important, and that makes a huge difference with respect to what cash is.
Control of the entire system. You won't be able to do anything without the powers that be knowing what you're doing. And what he just said, hey, with this current currency, we don't know who's using $100 bill or who's using $1,000 bill. But on a blockchain, a digital ledger, everything will be tabulated, and we'll be able to see what if anybody's doing some suspicious activities that we need to look into. And about a half a year to a year ago, you had another person in the European Union say, look, a lot of these Teist attacks that have been taking place were, the people got their supplies and weapons to do these things through credit cards and, money under the table. If everything is on a digital ledger, hey, they won't be able to make those transactions because we'll be able to see what everybody's buying. And if things look suspicious, we can look into it and stop, an incident from happening, a pre-crime like Minority Report. And it sounds a lot like what China's social credit score system, which is, coming to the US, where over there, if you purchase things, look at things, or say things the government deems against the system, they'll lower your social credit score and it'll heavily restrict what you're able to do in society. Back in Revelation chapter 13, verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell or get a job, travel abroad, do anything in society, buy a house, buy something to eat, save he that had the charagma, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. You'll be completely locked out of the grid, a social pariah, without that C-hip. But that's it with that first bit of information. But now I'm going to go to Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Because, hey, them putting a time span on it of a year to 2 years, which it could very well happen much sooner than that, shows that the powers that be are scrambling to get this system set up because they know that their time for rulership is almost up. This is Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil, that deceiver, Esau, Edom, specifically the elites, is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. The elites see that the nation of Israel is waking up and calling upon the true names of the Heavenly Father and His Son, Yahweh wa Yahweh Shai, and that the prophets are out on the highways and byways preaching this word. And they know that when the prophets of the Lord are out, whatever kingdom that's ruling is going to come to an end, which, beginning, with the elders of our apostles and elders of GMS or Great Millstone, which, if the Spirit is dealing with you, you can clearly see that Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai has set his tabernacle in GMS, from Elder Abba Bivens to, One West and the elders of our elders, like High Priest Ariah, King Masha, High Priest Yaiquab, down to our apostles and elders, even to the youngest brother, as well as, the brothers that come in the spirit of GMS. Everything we've been prophesying without diluting the scriptures, without changing up the doctrine like these other camps do, is coming to pass as we speak. And again, these elites see it. And they also know that they're Edomites and what their fate is after they're taken out of power. 1,000 years of hardcore bondage and slavery before they're permanently culled from this planet, along with their entire nation by fire. So they're coming down in great wrath and pulling out all the stops to try to fulfill their NW0, their great RESET, that fourth industrial revolution. But before I go to my second bit of information, I'm going to go to 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11, lest Satan, and you've got the spiritual demon Satan, which is the top left-handed angel of the Most High who obeys his will. And then you've got his physical counterpart here on earth, Esau, Edom, just like the children of Israel are the physical right-handed counterpart, of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushai on earth. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Like I said earlier in the video, with that situation that happened a couple of years ago, what did you see a push for? Contactless payments, paying through phone apps, cryptocurrencies and stuff like that. To the average person out there that doesn't know what's going on, they'll say this is a conspiracy theory, and that this is just madness. What is a digital currency? What does my Dogecoin have to do with a C-HIP getting put in us? Hey, it's all about gradualism, them introducing things slowly to you, so when they finally roll out with their full plan, hey, you're going to be eased into it, taking cash out of the system, relying less and less on using physical cash, using that credit or debit card. Now what? That's too cumbersome. It's more convenient to have things on your phone. But wait, we've got something even more convenient for you. What if it's inside your body to where you don't even need to, take out your phone? Which brings me to my next bit of information on Amazon's YouTube channel, dealing with Amazon One, an easier way through your day. This is a fair use copyright disclaimer. I do not own any of the footage in this clip, nor do I stand to gain from it monetarily. It is simply for educational purposes. And what does it say in the description? See how Amazon One simplifies your day, leaving you more time to enjoy the things that matter. Amazon One is the fast, convenient, contactless identity service that uses your palm. Just hover to enter, identify, and pay.
This is Zoe. Just like you, she uses lots of different cards and IDs to get through her day. What if all Zoe needed was herself? Introducing Amazon One, a free service that lets you use your palm to quickly pay for things, gain access, earn rewards, and more. Let's say you're grabbing your favorite coffee.
What did she just use to pay for it?
Beverage.
A scan of her palm, and that took money out of her account. But now we're rolling out, these CBDCs or digital currencies, and I can't remember the name of it exactly, but I think sometime last summer, some programs were rolled out to set up the framework for a digital dollar, and there's already a digital euro set up, a digital ruble, and a digital yuan.
Or heading into the office. Or checking out. Just hover your palm and you're on your way. It's as easy as that. Sign up is free and takes less than a minute. All you need is a credit card.
All right. So we go from the phone. We've got CBDCs getting official backing from SWIFT. We've got palm readers now. So what's the next step? What's the final step? This is from Wallet More's YouTube channel, Wallet More, the wallet of tomorrow. And this is just one company in a list of companies that are pushing out this technology. And again, a fair use copyright disclaimer. I do not own any of the footage in this clip, nor do I stand to gain from it monetarily. It is simply for educational purposes.
Let's talk about payments. Year after year, the societies that we live in are becoming more and more cashless. More and more people use credit cards and smart payment solutions, and more merchants accept payments through payment terminals, making our purchases easy and more convenient. Using payment devices makes our life easier and safer. You don't need to search for pennies and count them to provide the merchant with the exact amount. You just take the credit card, tap it, and the payment is done within a couple of seconds. But is it really safe and convenient to use these devices? Did we reach the ceiling and cannot go any further? The answer is no.
That's another aspect. Is it safe and convenient to be using your phones, which, with all these cyber attacks taking place, people's banking information through their phones, even through their credit and debit cards, are getting stolen, and they're losing a lot of money, or getting held for ransom.
And that is why we created Walletmore. Walletmore is the world's first company that makes it possible to pay with a subdermal implant. All you need is your hand. Walletmore implants are biosafe, secure, ultimately convenient, and they are globally acceptable.
They are small, flat, passive NFC transponders that store your account's data. They work as a standard contactless payments wearables and are accepted worldwide by every payment terminal processing contactless payments. The implant encapsulant biopolymer material has been tested to be biocompatible and hypoallergenic, which means that it doesn't react with your body's cells. If requested, the implant can be easily removed at any time by any general practice doctor during a simple.
But if you receive that charagma, as it says in Revelation chapter 14, verses 9 to 10, hey, you're going to be destroyed with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, Yahushua, get burned up by these nuclear missiles that are going to be shot during World War III, or get hit by that concentrated heat from the chariots of the Most High, which people ignorantly refer to as so-called UFOs, which, hey, there's UFO sightings, well, Slakia, chariot sightings taking place in such an increasing fashion over the world that these different governments are having to acknowledge the existence of them, though they don't call them chariots, and they're coming up with these different task force and space forces to try to, fight against the second coming of the Son of the Most High. Revelation chapter 12, verses 7 to 9, that war in heaven. And what does it say at the end of that? Hey, they shall be cast down to the earth.
Office visit. The NFC technology used in the implant authorizes the payment transaction only when it's placed in a very short distance from a payment terminal. Additionally, the implant doesn't violate the basic privacy principles. Just like your bank card, the implant doesn't track your location because it doesn't have any battery, GPS radio, or any other spying or activity tracking systems.
What is more, using Walletmore implant is completely free of charge. There is neither a maintenance fee nor a...
That's it with that video. But what do a lot of these things have in common? Your personal information linked to you. CBDCs are in your digital account. You've got your digital banking on your phones. And what? With the charagma, it's going to have all your personal information on it, from banking to medical, you name it. Biometrics, which, let's go back to Revelation chapter 13, verse 18. And then let's go into the 603 in the Strongs, which is G5516, high, psi, stigma. Slakia. It's like I went to the wrong thing, Go through it so often you kind of mix up things. But now I'm going to go to that word M-A-R-K, or charagma, which is G5480. The charagma, the physical C-hip. Then I'm going to go to the root word, charax, which is the implement to put that C-hip into you. Then when we go to the root word for that, it's G1125, grapho, which in the outline of biblical usage says to write with reference to the form of the letters, to delineate or form letters on a tablet, parchment, paper, or other material, information. And in this case, it's going to be a digital, parchment, digital paper, digital tablet. I'm going to go down to B. I'm going to go down to B, to commit to writing things not to be forgotten, write down, record, such as what? Your digital information, your banking, which is CBDCs, what's your health information, your biometrics, your social credit score, everything about you. So, hey, And lo, when these things come to pass, and they will come, then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them. We are quickly coming into these times, that hour of temptation, where you're going to be faced with a choice. Are you going to bend the knee to Esau Edom's system and take that charagma? Or are you going to stand firm in Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai and not take it and, go out, like a soldier of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, whatever your lot may be? Because if you do that, hey, you're going to be at that elect number and the first fruits in the kingdom of heaven coming back with Yahweh Shai to save the elect, that are still on the earth. But if you do bend the knee to Esau Edom's, beast system and take that charagma, you're going to get that Revelation chapter 14, verses 9 to 10 treatment. So that's it with this video. With this video, I hope you sincere Akim and Akwat were edified. Just keep strong. We're almost out of this final wicked captivity of the heathen nations, chiefly of the Edomites. And as always, I'm going to say Abad Babol, Kwam Yasharallah, and until next time, Shalom.